moment that we met, you were somebody, baby. Let get away, baby. I'm so beyond my need, making me feel the heat. Why they be moving like they on? Funny how I find myself in love with you. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Fire my reason, my bed to lose. Brum, 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 brum. And I ask myself, how much do you commit to yourself? It's my life, don't you forget. Then I ask myself, how much do you commit to yourself? It's my life, don't you forget. I wanna see you on my living room floor, play Nintendo with CZ. She's texting. She's texting. She didn't even move. Don't text the drive, baby girl. She's so cute. Low key. She looks Spanish, but she looks also like Greek or some shit or Italian. Yeah, nigga. That lady has a great sense of time. I don't know why I like white women now. Is that weird? That's not weird, right? It's a normal thing to like white women. They're just like every other woman, all other women. Nothing's wrong with them. They're beautiful. They're God's work. Dude, my eyebrows have gotten insane, right? They're like going all over the place. My eyebrows are overgrown. They've overgrown them. They've overgrown their stay. Then I ask myself, Bailey, Bailey, what's up? Bailey Coty. How you feeling, babe? Babe, I love you. You're my everything. Doing. You're my everything. Doing. What's up? I'm feeling good. I cannot complain. Like, just dropped my friend off to work. I'm about to go home, get some more sleep. I need some more sleep. That's what it is. I need some more sleep. I need a long rest. Some people say sleep is for the dead or whatever. Sleep is the cousin of death. Don't believe that shit, man. You fuck around and think you could be working with 5 hours of sleep long enough. Watch, you see what happens. Skin start getting old, your body start getting old. Should I subscribe? Of course you should subscribe. If you got any common decency, you should subscribe. Like, have you ever seen a channel and it was kind of like slightly interesting? It doesn't have to be the most interesting channel you've ever seen. But if it was slightly interesting, you say, you know what? I kind of like this guy or this lady. I'm going to subscribe. I'm going to like the channel. You know what? I'm going to leave a comment. And that's what happens. It's as simple as that. People start making changes. I am so tired. You got to excuse me, though. If I come across as incoherent, it's because I am fucking tired as hell. But yeah, we're going to have to find a solution, baby. Because that baby she got keep crying. My godson keep crying. He won't stop fucking crying. In the middle of the night. Whenever. Whenever's the most convenient for him to cry, that's when he gonna cry. Uh-huh. I said, ha. Uh, I like switching up my look sometimes. Sometimes I like facial hair, sometimes I don't. Because sometimes I want to like test the public's test the public's affection toward me. So sometimes I like to wear like more of a boyish vibe, see if I can elicit sympathy through the public and forgiveness rather than when you have a beard. When you have a lot of facial hair, people automatically look at you as like almost like a brute or something, you know. But like Michael Jackson, for instance, people always looked at him as this soft, innocent character. You know, each time the wind blows, I hear your voice so calling your name. So yeah, like you think of him as like so sweet because his voice is sweet and he doesn't have any facial hair. So it makes you more like sellable to every audience, you know, like K-pop singers. Like they are very dapper and demure as well. They have like they never have facial hair. Their whole vibe is this sort of feminine beauty vibe, and that's how it is. So I'm trying to pull that off in the midst of pulling off my boxing journey. So I want to enter the boxing world on some pretty boy shit, and over time, develop the beard and shit, and then grow into the old man phase. Because right now, I'm kind of too young to be like rocking some old ass, straggly beard with curls everywhere that's coming out to right here. You know what I'm saying? People not gonna appreciate like certain things. They're gonna take me as like, oh well, we don't need to forgive him, or we don't need to like help him because he's just a hairy old man. But if you present yourself as like younger, boyish vibe, you have a high chance of eliciting some sort of help from the public, where they help you reach your goal. It's like how Oscar De La Hoya achieved fame so fast. whereas Floyd Mayweather didn't. Of course, it has to do with a couple different politics in boxing, race politics, but yeah, a lot of it, a lot of it has to do with like persona and stuff. Like Sugar Ray Leonard had a very like he was known for being like the good guy, even though he was black. They try to paint the black guys like the bad guy in a lot of these scenarios, but and yeah, but and then they paint the Mexican as the warrior. But if you could paint yourself as like the golden boy or this or that, like how Oscar De La Hoya did, he positioned himself as the golden boy. Floyd Mayweather kind of did it too with the pretty boy vibe, you know. Pretty boy Floyd was way less abrasive than Money Mayweather. When Money Mayweather showed up and you got the goatee, I'm saying facial hair was on, and the braggadocious attitude just got turned up by 10. That's when a lot of people started wanting to see Floyd fail. A lot of people started wanting to see Floyd fail, so they started basically buying tickets to his fights just to see him fail, hoping that he would lose against top competition. And it never happened, and that was what he used to keep bringing him back, to keep making them think like, okay, well, like I know he's got to lose eventually. Let's go. You want to see this guy? This guy's the next one that we believe is going to beat him. So it developed like a mystique or like an aura surrounding him where it was like people just wanted to see him beat because he was developing an attitude. It was developing like the public was developing an attitude of like animosity toward him because he began talking about money and how successful he was compared to other people. So he developed himself into like the bad guy role, and he embraced it, and people hated him for it, but they also loved him for it. So it's all about what's going to work best for you, what role is going to work best for you. It's like if you go into a restaurant and you're applying as a server, who are they going to hire faster, the guy without the beard or the guy with the beard? They're going to hire the guy without the beard faster because he comes across as less aggressive. He comes across as more manageable, comes across as younger, comes across as cleaner, when they're both the same people. It's just one versus the other. Like facial hair, it just is a great thing. It's God's plan. It's God's work. The only thing is people are afraid of when God's work shines too much, so they try to like diminish God's work by telling you like, okay, well, the new norm is to shave off the beard, you know, or the new norm is to do this and to do that, but all aimed at like taking away the beauty that God has created for you to have your own individuality, your own this, your own that. There's an idea that having less facial hair is cleaner. Jungle Driver, what's good, my guy? How you feeling? So like with this appearance that I have right here, I'm able to kind of like elicit more sympathy from trainers and stuff when I go to the boxing gym and I'm like, yo, I need a trainer to help me get these amateur fights so I can go pro. They're more prone to help me than if I'm looking more like an aggressive, like something that they can't handle or control. I can't tell them you're doing that wrong or you're doing this wrong, where they feel fear to the point where they can't like actually train you properly. That's not good. But if you could create an appearance or an attitude where you're open to suggestion, you're open to ideas, new ideas, sure, it may come across as slightly less aggressive, less masculine. But there's a fine balance between your masculine side and your feminine side that you must be aware of, because if not, you're gonna put yourself in trouble. When you start thinking that there's no balance between the two and that men are completely masculine and there's no form of femininity in a man, you start to put yourself in some trouble, because that's not the case. Like when you see a man with his baby, you don't see him with his sword out. You don't see him throwing punches with his baby. He's meticulous. He's like a mother, so to speak. With he's like he's thinking about how loud his voice is, and he lowers he raises the pitch of his tone, so it's not like, oh, shut up baby, shut up baby. It's more like, all right baby, it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be okay, just relax, relax. It's certain natural things like men do. They make their voice more suggestive and less bassy. So it's the same thing. You're dealing with a baby. You don't want to scare the baby away. So at the same time, you don't make deep, scary noises with your voice, like like it's something like innately human that all males, when dealing with like little children that they're trying to not scare, or dealing with women that they're trying not to scare, that they change their voice. So, like I said, masculinity is something that is not completely understood, and it's not completely like classified in certain ways that are organized where we can say, okay, well, this and that. Because if a man can feminize himself in a moment and say, okay, well, I need to make my voice higher so this baby is not scared of me, or I need to appear this way so that people are not afraid of me, then the same could go for women. Maybe there are certain things that a woman might do that might make men feel uncomfortable or afraid, that might make it hard for them to elicit sympathy from the males. And usually it's probably the same thing, testosterone. Testosterone in a woman, like a high testosterone in a woman, makes it hard for people around that woman to want to protect her, to want to come to her rescue. So testosterone is not like, it's not exclusive to one sex. It's not exclusive to the male sex. Testosterone is used in women and men, and estrogen is used in women and men. And there's reasons for why there's dips and there's like peaks and valleys to testosterone levels, and why it changes and fluctuates, and why you change personality slightly as yours goes up or down. There's reasons for, we don't even know. We don't know the reasons. The Bible couldn't even explain to you certain physiological changes that occur when your hormones are this or that. The Bible didn't even explain that your temperament, your way of being, and even your choices may be affected drastically by your hormone level. So of course the Bible's not going to explain that. The Bible only seeks to, like, clarify our role as physical beings in the hierarchy of God's order. But at this, like, the point being is just that the Bible doesn't tell you that, okay, well, if your testosterone is super high, you might sin more. You might grab a nigga by the collar or do something that just don't make no goddamn sense because your testosterone is so high. Whereas someone with lower testosterone might not even like do those same sins because there's no ambition to be rebellious, so there's no ambition to do this or do that. And then in that case, what are you telling me? That the person who doesn't even have any ambition to do wrong is more good than the person who has an inclination to do wrong? That's not fair because there's different hormone levels. If it's different hormones, you got some of the guys that are, some that will be captured. The ones with the highest testosterone are the ones who's going to try to escape. The ones with the lowest testosterone is the ones who's going to just give in to the order of things. So that's why a lot of times, that's why when you have like a dog, you get the dog, like if the dog is very rambunctious and it's a pit bull or whatever, they get the dog's balls taken off because the balls produce testosterone. The testes produce testosterone. So you'll see like the dog's nature slowly become more submissive, less like domineering, and that's more controllable. So what does that tell you? That tells you that testosterone directly affects your behavior and whether you may even commit more crimes. So of course the Bible's not going to go into all that. The Bible is not even, I believe personally that the Bible is not an end all be all for everything. And the Bible doesn't encompass every absolute nuance that you will meet in life. Like, that doesn't work that way. The Bible can only light on certain things, but like at the end of the day, it's like a religious text. That's what it is. It's religious scripture. So it doesn't account for certain things. So it doesn't even show you how like I said, like hormones, physiology could affect someone being more prone to commit sin because the Bible is so black and white that like when they tell you who's good and who's bad, once you start actually dissecting why who's good and who's bad, well, wait a minute, what if a person thought the same thing that person